Hello, everyone. It's going to be a little bit of a different video than normal. I hit a PB off stream recently on the Void 62 surface category. And because it was off stream, there's no live comms, there's no live commentary, so I figured I would try my hand at a post commentary for the first time. We'll see how it goes. Let me know if it's enjoyable, I guess. um, in our first room, we broke the onion, of course, and then we had Deep Descent. Deep Descent's very good. Doesn't help us yet, but it's very helpful for Typhon. Our first boon being Poseidon Title Ring, very nice. This Aphira here, we got a lot of good rooms, a lot of good options for us to take. Definitely, the two Apollos are the standout, of course. We generally just want a lot of Apollo in for the Morrigan. So we're gonna go for that first, of course. Looking for Apollo attack. But yeah, Title Ring's nice because eventually we'll like to hit origination from the Judgment. I should probably talk about the Void 62 as a category. It's just it's 62 fear, but it allows the Vow of Void, which limits your Arcana. The standard category does not allow the Vow of Void because it's just more RNG, but it's likely to be more optimal because removing hordes is very powerful. It's basically 62 fear, but we're doing a judgment run without the Vow of Hordes. We're using 3 Void instead of 3 Hordes. We had Apollo attack there. It's very nice. It's very, very nice. Here we get Blinding Rush. Also very nice. We have our 2 curses for whenever we hit origination. And we open up Beach Ball, which is fun. It's fun. It's not bad. It's pretty good. It's a solid boon. There's Corrosion on Sight from Medea, of course, one of the best hits there. And now we have Ares. We're looking for the special here. I take a short pause here for whatever reason. Ares special would open Grievous Blow, which is one of the strongest things for damage in the game. It's multiplicative damage increase, very strong. We do end up hitting the special here, which is very, very nice. Now, on these last 3 rooms, or last 2 rooms rather, we have a few options. We're going to be taking Satyr Champion because that's fast, that's quick. It's Poseidon, which has a lot of good hits for us. But the other room, we have Aphrodite, which we could grab Heartbreaker, open Sunny Dispo, that's a lot of damage. Grab Hermes, we have success rate open because of the title ring. Hermes also has a lot of good things like Racing Thoughts, like Travel Deal, like Quick Buck. Quick Buck is also extra valuable because we don't have the Boatman Arcana, because again we're playing Judgment. And then the health room, good safety, and then also the chance at Artemis is also a very compelling option here. So I do sit here for quite a bit, just thinking it over. Quite a bit of thinking, in fact. We do end up going for the Hermes because we have success rate open and because there are lots of good hits other than success rate as well. Success rate, it's so good. It's so good when you hit Summit, and it's so good if you hit any chance-based boons earlier as well. We do hit success rate. And now we go fight Satyr Champion, which is one of the fights of all time. We do pretty well here. We got a lucky dodge proc there. But other than that, we do have Corrosion as well, which helps speed it up and helps the consistency of it. And we pick up the gain. That was probably the best hit for us there in that situation. If we don't have a gain going into Polyphemus, it's very rough because we didn't have a magic room. So that's a very nice hit. We don't have the money, of course, because no Boatman, and we didn't see Heracles. And now we fight this guy, which the fight goes pretty well at the start. It's just the standard opening of Triumph. I do mess up an Omega there, but I get a nice lucky cleave there to make it up. And then I kind of mess up a few times here after this phase, unfortunately. Take a hit there. Our starting Arcana as well is Sorceress, Persistence, and Lovers. We take a hit there. Let me rewind actually. So we take a hit there with those one lovers. We take a hit here because I don't have the messenger. Normally I thought I dashed this shockwave, which I didn't actually dash the shockwave because I canceled my dash iframes with a cast. The messenger arcana wouldn't has iframes on it, so it wouldn't cancel iframes because it just has more iframes. So if I have the messenger there, I don't take that hit, that lever's removal to I don't take the shockwave hit that removes the levers, which causes us to lose Gale here instead of later on. Um, that is one of the more frustrating parts of this for me is I'm very used to the Messenger Arcana. It's very strong for the Morrigan's offensive playstyle, and not having it when my brain is just wired to think that I do causes me to take more hits than I really should. Um, yeah, so and because of that, I take that big hit of 34 damage there, which just just bothered me quite a bit. But we have a great Tefira exiting sub 140, which is nice, very nice, and we get our first judgment pull here. Um, you know, we get origination, we get furies. That is some quite nice damage. We get knight, which is like it sometimes does something. And then centaurs, a little extra health magic, it's fine. But what we don't get is any safety, and we don't get death, we don't get strength. Um, and I mean those are the main two, I guess. But so we're entering Thessaly with just still very very close to death, especially after taking that big hit earlier in that fight. The next region we take the fig leaf, of course. I don't have any money. Shout out Frey, who was in a Discord call with me, for telling me to pick up the armor because I was a stupid idiot and almost didn't grab that armor. Armor is very valuable when you can't heal, of course. And everything does more damage. Excuse me. First boat encounter. Not too bad. Break the onion early is very, very lucky. This is our fig leaf as well. Very nice fig. Nice indeed. Hollow Force is very spooky. And then this right here, I don't notice this anchor is unstaggerable. So I paused for a second there. I didn't notice the anchor was unstaggerable, but we just don't get hit anyway because occasionally we do something cool. Yeah, this encounter pretty standard as well. Just nothing too spooky. We got our hex here, which hexes are very strong in Fear. There are some very, very, very nice options. Mainly Twilight Curse, Wolf Howl, just quite a few different utility options. We get Moon Water is the one we pick because our options that we're presented with they're not great. They're not great. Moonwater, I pick it because it can function as a supplemental gain for us. So if Flood gains on cooldown, we can use it to gain some magic back after we get a Path of Stars. I never actually use it for that purpose because either both I forget or we don't have the stars yet or any other reason. Moonwater also interrupts my flow a lot of the time, so I just try to avoid using it. But better than Night Bloom, which probably does nothing. Better than Phase Shift, which is a time loss usually, I think was the third option there. Hestia there. There's some quite nice hits from Hestia. Snuffed Candle is alright. It's fine. It's not bad. Just extra damage on Eris, extra damage on Typhon. Not the worst. Definitely not the best it could have been. Encounters, nothing too crazy. Just pretty standard, I think. For the most part right now, at least. I paused buffer there to check for Artificer. We don't have Artificer, and we did not pull it from Judgment. We hit Cersei, which is very nice. Cersei, the main hit is Black Knight Banishment, which is again another dice roll, which we do hit Black Knight Banishment, and we hit Vow of Fangs removal, which it's very nice. It's a slight speed up. It improves the safety of the run by a lot. The big hit there is Grit or Return as well can be nice. Fangs is good too, of course, but there's quite a few like bad hits, like Frenzy, like Void that does nothing. Um, Fangs is a pretty good removal there overall. Yeah, it just makes the run a lot safer because a lot of the Fangs modifiers can just ruin your day, especially when you enter Olympus and Summit, especially. We get another Poseidon here. This guy just won't leave us alone. We do grab it. We do hit the My Bounty. Just some extra money, which is nice. We pick it over Ocean Swell. Ocean Swell's good. Um, but it's not amazing. It's not like a standout boon. It's just a little bit of extra damage, which is good. But again, in a situation where you don't have boatmen, um, and economy is a bit more tight, the I don't even remember the actual name of the boon. The My Bounty is quite good. Eris, pretty standard, I guess. If we rewind a little bit, the opening to Eris is pretty damn consistent every time. She always starts out by shooting that bomb forward and going backwards. Um, so I always try to get a normal attack on her and then charge my Omega as I dash after her, and then I Omega behind her because she does the sweep always. And then I throw the special with triggering the Triad, which also triggers her combo breaker, which then she does the bomb forward, dash back, and sweep, guaranteed again. So then you just, you carry your special through, you Omega, and you just keep triading, keep triading, keep triading, until hopefully you have the damage to phase her before she does anything stupid, which luckily we did. Luckily we had the we got a bit lucky, and we had the damage to phase her before she decided to do anything dumb in that first phase. Here she summons, some of the ads. I do it a bit weirdly. I usually O-cast because you have time to O-cast, but I just didn't that time. See that? That's what we call doing something stupid. Just flying up in the air, wasting a bunch of time for no reason. Very annoying when she does that repeatedly, but we get pretty lucky in this fight. She only does that a couple times. I think that's the first. I think she does it another time. There's the O-cast that I usually do. Hits the ads. Can hit Era sometimes. We just keep triading. There's the second time. Just obnoxious, but we get pretty lucky. She can be a lot more annoying sometimes. Last phase here, I do mess up a little bit right here because I don't charge the Omega there. My finger must have just released the button too soon, or like didn't hold down the button rather. So we could have been a little bit faster there, but pretty good Eris fight. We got strength, but what we don't have, we got strength and messenger, which is big, and also unseen. This is also the reason we never hit this supplemental gain, because we have it's not a supplemental gain yet because we didn't hit a Path of Stars ever, but we have this unseen, which is a very nice in combination with a game that's not perfect like Flood Game that goes on cooldown. Huntress is nice, nice damage too. Swift Runner is also very nice for just clearing rooms, moving faster. But yeah, Strength Messenger are the big ones. The big one we don't hit though is of course Death, which is very scary going into Olympus without Death Defiances. Fighting the rivals Prometheus fight without Death Defiances is very scary. Especially when you're bad like me. We take Knuckle Bones. Knuckle Bones is so good for that fight. Even especially with Hitch, but even without Hitch. You don't need Hitch for it to be good. This is, I go out there because I had just, yeah. I mean, we run into this room like I fucking own the place, and then immediately the most scary fucking things appear. Just an armored Auto Watcher and an Eyesore, just immediately firing. So I go hide. For a solid bit here. Just waiting them out for a bit until I have an opening to get in there. Here we get our oh wait, yeah, no, this is just a magic first. That's right. Also, our damage is not great right now. Our damage is just our. I mean, it's basically just this, right? We don't really have many damaging boons outside of this. We don't have our hammers at all yet, which is also why I was That Eris like was a bit up in the air. We got pretty lucky. She only flew up twice, which was pretty lucky for the damage that we did not have. This room I mess up a little bit here. I should not have got hit there at all, and that kind of messes up my flow for the rest of the encounter. But we pull it back. It wasn't too bad. And then here we get Hammer and Heracles in this room, the earliest Heracles possible, which is so very good. Given the rooms we get later. Right here though, right here, this really annoyed me. We get slapped by Heracles there, which was I wish Windows fucking Media Player was better designed, so I could rewind only a little bit. But we get slapped by Heracles here, which is you know my fault for being there, right? But also like, just don't hit me. Just why you gotta stun me for 10 years, causing us to get hit by this zombie here, causing us to lose Gale, causing us to special, because this game is just awesome. Where when you throw your special out, well, any sort of time slow is happening via Gale being triggered, Chronos time slow, stuns of various kinds. Your special turns into an Omega special because the Morrigan's Omega special channels so quickly. It's just what happens. So thank you for that, Heracles. You're so wonderful. And then here we also get hit there because I didn't realize the Draco was winding up the tailspin because I'm ass. So this was probably the worst encounter. Not really. But, and then, I forgot about that part. I forgot about this part. And then, not only that, I paused over here because I just picked this dumbass flower instead of interacting with this stupid zoo statue. I'm good at this game, by the way. And because of that, we get rocketed by this stupid ass guy. This encounter was so terrible for me. It was so bad. It was so bad, and yet so good because, it's a skip in Olympus. And we get Sweeping Ambush, the best in slot hammer, and the only hammer of this run, unfortunately. But that's just how it goes. Luckily, it was sweeping. We needed the damage for sure. Into Dionysus, yet another Olympus skip. Very, very good. Heracles jumps straight from that encounter into the bath. We hit Grape Juice here. Grape Juice, for those who don't know, gives your very next move plus 100 power. That applies to the Morrigan's special on every tick. So the Morrigan, its special is what, like base 25 or something? Base 20, 25? It's something like that. You add plus 100 power to that, every single tick doing plus 100 damage. It's quite good. The other choice here is worry free because our health pool fucking sucks, and this is 50 to 80 strength health, like health buffed by strength, which would be quite nice for safety, but that's not damage. And why would we pick a defensive option? That would be cringe. We pick the damage option, right? Surely. I do think about it for quite a bit here. Of course we bathe with Heracles, because why not? That's cool. We get a peek at our upcoming door. It's our onion break on Hestia up here. It is odd. I would expect a mini boss there, but with this early of a Dionysus, we get an onion break outside of a mini boss, which is quite nice. This Olympus was so very good. It was so good. Yeah. So of course we take that. This is our Fig proc as well. Let's break onion. Look at the shrine here. I think we ordered this boon, right? Yeah, I don't bother with the stars because we don't need the supplemental gain anymore. Take the Apollo mini boss. The Apollo here can be lots of good things. Draken's very spooky, but I think we lose a Gale. But other than that, it goes pretty well because I have sweeping and I have corrosion. Yeah. We do end up hitting Beach Ball here, which is, like, we could, the option there is Supernova, Open, Exceptional Talent, which don't really have the magic for anyway. Or we could take Beach Ball for the funny, and, like, Beach Ball's not bad. It's extra damage. It's funny, it's cool, it's fun. Here, we get the, I think our second, like, one of, I think we only have like 2 actual encounters with the timer running in this Olympus or something, right? Because we had the room 1. We had the Heracles, we had the Dionysus, we had the Fig, and then this is the room 2, which was not a bad room at all, obviously. We got our stars and our magic. Again, the stars here is mostly just for the supplemental gain. In case we need it, we likely don't because we have Unseen at this point. But then we also see Zeal, we also see Radiance here. The 2 main nodes I'm looking for, we grab Zeal because we don't have the 4 points. You know, Zeal's extra damage. If I end up using Moonwater, I don't. I don't. We get the extremely rare Olympus mid shop in 36. And then here, I take a while deciding what I'm doing because inside, if we take this door, it has a chance to be an inside room. If we take this jump pad, it's always an outside room, and the outside room can either... I wasn't sure if it could be Icarus at this point, but it could be Icarus, but it could also have Itos in it, and Itos is a major time loss, but Icarus, of course, is a major time save. I wasn't sure if the NPC cooldown at this point was ready yet, so I end up fishing while deciding, because, you know, why not? It's funny. Obviously, the rewards don't really matter here, but it's just whether I'm risking the bird... I'm guaranteeing risking the bird, or I'm just trying to not risk the bird at all. And I end up taking this jump pad, and it's important to note that this timer runs for a little bit because the Icarus doesn't actually pause the encounter until this first part is cleared, and now the timer is paused because this is in fact an Icarus encounter, and like, what the fuck was this Olympus, right? This is kind of a ridiculous Olympus. Yeah, so Icarus is here. This encounter's quite spooky. Icarus and Olympus summons a lot of enemies, and the enemies are very dangerous. Again, if we have Fangs active here, it's honestly quite likely that I die to some Fangs BS. Luckily, we don't have Fangs. This was very spooky. All of these ice orb projectiles flying all over the place with the Drake in there. Luckily, I'm able to avoid getting hit. And then we let Icarus finish that last guy off down there. So he flies down instantly as soon as he's available to. Right there. I'm looking for latest model here, because latest model would hit sweeping ambush. I get... I'm looking for latest model here. Latest model sweeping ambush upgrades the 400% extra Omega attack damage into 600% extra Omega attack damage, so it's an extra 200%. It's so very strong. It is the hit. It is the largest damage increase you can see on the Morrigan, I think. Outside of maybe like exceptional talent. Maybe. But it's so very strong. Unfortunately, we don't hit latest model. I mean, you know, maybe it's fortunate because we are forced to pick up the armor, and the armor, you know, ends up being pretty damn good when you're this fragile right now. So we enter the end shop. We pick up a boon here, right? Yeah, it's the Hermes. This Hermes kind of sucks ass. Unfortunately, there's a lot of good options for Hermes. Once again, there's the Racing Thoughts. There's the quick buck. We consider the quick buck. Unfortunately, it's not Nitro Boost. I would have taken Nitro Boost in a heartbeat, but it's we pick up a Hasty Retreat because we're coping upon Dodge Chance saving us right now because I'm ass at this fight. I don't think Dodge ever procs, which is funny. So it actually did nothing. But yeah, this fight I lose the lovers there to the bird. I'm just not very good at this fight compared to what I should be, because I play hyper aggressive. I play very fast because I am speedrunning, right? Luckily, I you know, I framed both the club hit there and the flame waves. Would have been embarrassing if I get hit by one or both of those. We dodged that. Pick up the grape juice again. There's 2 ways you can use the grape juice, right? You can try to get it on your Omega, where you hold X on the Omega before you pick it up, so that you get the grape juice on your Omega attack rather than it being consumed by your normal attack. Or you pick it up and then you throw your special, so every tick gets the plus 100 power. It's basically you're choosing between your big sweeping ambush % increase on one hit of the plus 100 power grape juice, or the special applying plus 100 power to every tick of like every of the many hits. I usually prefer using it on the special, but if it's in range while while I happen to be charging the Omega, I frequently, like, right there, I mean, it just spawns on top of me there. That was quite a lucky spawn. It just goes on the Omega right there, right there. I trigger Volatile Coating that we picked up from Icarus, dealing 8,000 damage to Icarus, or to Heracles, excuse me. Again, that was quite the grab from Icarus. The extra armor for the extra health, and then also the big hit on Heracles there. Allows us to kill him before the flame waves even start, allowing us to dodge it much more easily, without much less stressfully. Now here I am, of course, very weak at this point. I do take one more hit right there, because I just lost track of what he was doing. But luckily he steps out of the fire, and we're able to kill him before he hits me again. Just as 2 health, not even close. Not worried. That's double the amount you need. That's double the amount of health that you need to win, right? Our last judgment pull is death. We do get death, so which makes me feel a lot more confident going into Summit. Everything else doesn't really matter. Boatman's very helpful, actually. Boatman allows us to buy this boon here from this shrine. Everything else doesn't really matter. Obviously, Artificer doesn't matter. I mean, like, the rarity increase is, like, fine from Divinity, but, like, it's not super impactful. When you think about this boon, we're thinking about the options. There are quite a few good hits from that boon, but also Poseidon, or not Poseidon, but I'm just thinking about, like, what Vow of Denial has denied. We have seen quite a lot of Poseidon. What we haven't seen yet is Hydraulic Might. The big one I'm thinking of right here, though, is Grievous Blow. But of course, we have not seen Ares at all since the first biome, and it's Poseidon again. Whoa! Luckily, we see the Hydraulic Might. We're able to grab Hydraulic Might, which is very good. Hydraulic Might is so very strong. But like, this guy just won't leave me alone. Summit Room 1 is a big swing. We want our Fig to proc, and it does, very luckily. Summit Room 1 not only can take quite a while, but is also quite dangerous very frequently. This room here, Land Dragons, we hate Land Dragons. We also hate these Eyesores. Shout out this Land Dragon right here. Right here. This guy right here. Just watch what he does. He dodges not only my normal attack, which would have triggered the Triad to kill him, but also an Omega Cleave that also would have just destroyed him. And I think he's dead. Like, he disappeared as both of my hits that would kill him, would have hit him. He's not dead. He's down there. And then also this dumbass fist appears here. And I'm so fucking just disoriented from that. Break the onion here. Maybe we get a boon later. Spawn of Typhon goes pretty smoothly. We do lose a Gale, I believe. Yeah, on this charge right here, because I'm bad. But other than that, pretty smooth. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. We get some nice crits. Again, success rate that we picked up at the very start of the biome gives us a 9% extra crit chance here, which doesn't seem like a lot, but just getting a bit more consistency on those crits is so very strong, especially for a heavy hitting, a weapon that relies on the big, heavy, sweeping ambush hits like the Morrigan that don't occur super frequently. So just getting those big hits to crit more often feels so good. Here, this room, kind of spooky, but the charging guy is not armored, so it's not that spooky. But here, the tail's landing right here. We get our boon delivered right here. This is so dangerous, but I do it anyway. Just barely out of range. And then, when you're in the boon, then you get iframes. And we pick up Slow Cooker here, which is nice. Just a little bit extra power on the attacks. Here, this tile with this burrowing guy, he likes to dance between right here. It's very obnoxious. He does it a few times, I think, but he eventually figures out, and then we luckily dodge him. We get the kill there without losing another Gale. And this guy again, this Poseidon guy just won't leave me alone. He's just here again. At this point, he has like nothing left. He doesn't have Hydramite. We already have Hydramite. We already denied Ocean Swell. We already have Tidal Ring. We already have Flood Gain. We don't care about this guy anymore. We already have Buried Treasure. This guy fucking sucks. Get him off my screen. I take the stars because like maybe we end up using the Radiance node, the iframe node. I should have just hit the Poseidon there. We denialed the bad replaces earlier, so it wouldn't have been that big of. I mean, maybe we didn't have the denial breaker rush. Actually, I'm not sure. We get again right there. Success rate coming in super clutch. All of those sweeping crits right there. Boom. Boom. No, that one did a crit, but yeah, right here. Boom. And then this special tick did 2,000 damage. Thanks, grape juice. Boom. Boom, boom. Yeah, just so many sweeping crits. We managed to kill tail. Luckily, we got the good tail pattern too, where the tail goes on this right side instead of going over to the left side. Pretty lucky tail, fortunately. Stars again. We end up grabbing this node, this node here, the Radiance, which is just impervious for 1 second after using it, and the Godsent just in case we need the the supplemental gain. We never press it. we never press it. Just because it ruins my flow. We can't afford anything other than the armor, so we grab the armor. And then we enter the Typhon. Rivals Typhon always starts out with the big tongue slam. It's always consistent. It's always tongue slam. While speedrunning, we try to do damage during it, of course. So we do that. You can dodge it while doing damage, but I don't dodge this part, unfortunately. That second hit there. But we clean it up at the end and end up phasing with hydraulic might as well. And of course we got our deep descent value coming in, only spawning the 1 egg instead of the 2 eggs. And then the last phase will be much easier because of deep descent as well. We O-cast there. Because there's not much opportunity cost to not there's not any opportunity cost to not O-cast there, unless you need the magic for whatever reason, but it's just more damage, it's an extra triad likely. And then we pick up the grape juice after O-casting, because the O-cast will consume the grape juice if you pick it up before. And we get an unlucky pattern here too. Like ideally, as the phase happens, I'm going too far again. When the phase happens, ideally you're next to the guy. 1, because you're casting, and 2, to bait out the chin slam, because the chin slam is very quick, it's very easy to play around. Unfortunately, I'm moving toward the grape juice because that's where I'm picking it. Like that's a big portion of damage. Getting 100 power on every tick of my special that hits the guy like 70 million times. I'm picking up the grape juice. So I'm casting, and as I'm O-casting, I'm moving away, which does not guarantee the chin slam because I'm no longer next to the guy, right? And he decides to do whirlwinds, which is very, very bad. That is terrible because they like to just move all over the place and take your lovers, and it's very bad. Luckily, we're able to notice that he's doing whirlwinds. We group them over here, and not only that, but they generally stay over there. This one kind of is annoying, but we don't lose any lovers to it, which is very, very good. This part of the fight always seems very spooky. It seems so spooky, but if you're playing the Morrigan and you have the messenger, you have so many iframes. You just iframe so much of it. Like I charge my omega, I omega in, I special forward, I dash backwards after using the messenger, and I omega back in, and I dash, and it's a lot of iframes and a lot of damage. You just kill him. We lost no lovers there, I think, right? Maybe 1. I don't think I lost any though. Here I pick up the grape just a little bit early, so I refrain from O-casting. I bait out the chin slam, I just normal cast, and I throw the special, getting all those plus 100 power ticks of the special. Here, this part bugs me. I get a grape juice omega, like sweeping omega here. Guess where it goes? Right there. Boom. 4,000 damage on the flag. That's not what I wanted. That was annoying. But this last phase, other than that, goes pretty smoothly. We just killed the guy, right? We just killed the guy. Um, and part of the reason it went so smoothly is because there's no tentacles, right? The deep descent removes the tentacles that he does after the chin slam, which helps a lot in keeping everything under control in your brain. Babality here. We got 3 DDs, we got 40 armor, we got 2 lovers left, I think. We are very safe here. Um, and we get a nice ring pattern here too. So this is basically free. We do lose our 2 lovers here because I am bad. Right there. And from the laser here too. Oh no, was that the laser? I thought it was the laser. I think that was an orb though, actually. Either way. Why am I getting hit there? Just come out. That was a very nice ring pattern. So, we finish out Typhon, grab the grape juice, throw the special, try it a few times, and that is it. 826 on a Void 62 surface. That beats my standard 62 surface or standard 62 PB surface by like a minute and a half. It beats my previous Void 62 surface by like a minute or something, right? Almost a minute. This run was ridiculous. In terms of the Aruma region, the Olympus and the Olympus was crazy. But yeah, that's the run. Appreciate you watching. Hope you enjoyed, and catch you next time. Bye bye.